Do I believe that I'm beautiful? That's a hard one. That's a hard one. It's hard because I'm telling myself yes, and then everything that I've internalized and all the messages that I've heard run through my mind 100 miles per hour. And so I know it's true. Yes, I'm beautiful. But I also know everything I've been told.
I think one, or at least I, became aware of different parts of my body at different times in my life, right? I would say that sort of an overall, this is the body you were given, sense came to me in college when I started doing like sports.
There were always guys faster, taller, smarter, whatever. And I wasn't the last kid always picked, but I was close to the last kid. And I think that gave me the initiative to work harder, to do my best, to show that, you know what, I'm as good as you guys are, even if you're 5 inches taller or 3 seconds faster than me. I think that's when it started to dawn on me. Yeah, am I a little different? Am I a little odd? Am I whatever? But it started early and it stayed at various stages throughout my life.
Being put in sports with girls, I didn't feel like I was whole. And I honestly didn't feel like playing with the girls like I was born as, it just didn't fulfill me. And my parents just said that I was better, you know, I was good at sports, so I was just better than most of the girls, but I still didn't feel like myself. So I was 5 years old when I finally figured out who I truly was.
You guys probably don't know this about me, but I am transgender. I'm 9 months on testosterone. I feel great about myself, and the reason I am in this project is because of my wonderful sister.
I first became aware of my body, I think around middle school, because that's kind of when puberty hits. And everyone around you kind of is more judgmental in a way than they were in elementary school. So I remember in gym class, someone was like, "Stacy doesn't shave her legs." And I was like, oh, I should probably start doing that. And then from there on, I was like, my body's changing. Like, you became really aware of who you are becoming and growing into in your body.
I don't remember becoming distinctly aware of it, but to be honest, I always just felt fat, like forever. That's what that question brought up for me.
Yeah, when did I first become aware of my body? I'd have to say at the young age of 5. And a lot of that has to do because I immigrated from Mexico. And so in Mexico, people looked like me. And when I came to the United States, I actually immigrated to California. And a lot of my peers and a lot of my classmates were actually white. And so I got teased a lot at a very, very young age, just from coming here, having a different language, not being able to communicate with people. But definitely the color of my skin was something that I was aware of from a very, very young age. And you know, I had kids that would throw sand in my hair at a really young age. Kids that didn't want to play with me. Yeah, that was really hard as a 5-year-old. And it kind of just continued throughout most of my life, I'd have to say, all the way until high school.
I think I saw beautiful people around me do horrible things and be horrible people, and have that be okay and have that be accepted, and you know, make someone feel lesser than them to make themselves feel better, right? So I sort of witnessed that whole mess that is, you know, middle school and high school.
There was always this thought that if I was a little bit smaller, I would get better parts. Or if I was a little bit smaller, I'd have like a cuter boyfriend and a nicer car and better clothes. But it was this like facade that I told myself, like these lies, so that I didn't even have to deal with how I was emotionally feeling at the time. It was always like if I worked a little harder, then something would be better, I'd be happier. And that wasn't true.
there's this core group of about half a dozen people that were really horrible from, say, 2nd or 3rd grade until about 9th grade. And in 12th grade, one of the guys who had been one of the worst of all of them, we had an art class together. And we're just in the art room by ourselves one day talking. And at one point he says, you know, gosh, we've been going to school together for 12 years. Didn't I used to make fun of you back in the day and like call you some name? Gosh, I don't remember what it was. I could name some really specific incidences where he had crushed me and he couldn't even remember it. It was mind-blowing. It was an epiphany into how I looked at myself and how I valued myself, as well as into the mentality of bullies. He didn't think it was anything, that he had been ruining my life for years.
I had really just struggled to even feel like I was worth anything. I feel like I have the courage to talk about mental health issues because I've been struggling for so long with it, and I've seen so many other people struggling with it as well, especially in the past year. People don't talk about it, but a lot of people go through it. And I feel like the more people talk about it, the more comfortable people are going to be talking about it. Because there's that stigma, if you struggle with mental health issues, then you're a crazy person, or you know, you don't belong anywhere, you're going to a psycho house or whatever. And that's how it's felt for me. And I'm sick of feeling that way. And I'm sick of seeing other people feel that way.
I always wanted to know who's the person that created the different boxes that suddenly everyone decided they're supposed to fit in, like who made them, because I'm not sure who did, but whoever did like kind of fucked us over, because no one fits inside of a box, but yet we're all chasing to be inside of those, or we were told to. So when you think about that, and you think about where those norms come from, what do you think? What do we do about it? How do we get more people to take the compliments and realize, like you said, that everyone's unique and there actually is no box that we're all going to fit in? How do we make it okay for people to stand out?
Each of us have been told that we're not enough in one way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter who you are. If we took the time to slow down and talk to other people, I think we could connect. And I think that some of these biases that are out there, some of these really harmful things that perpetuate this, we could start to turn that around.
I literally hated myself until I was in my early 30s. I actually dated someone for 5 years in my mid-20s, and he was a wonderful guy. And I realized years after we split up, and I started liking myself, I look back and I was like, God, he must have told me he loved me every day for years, and I never believed him once. Like, not once, because I had no value for myself. So through a combination of some really outstanding friends, therapy, and actually a really amazing yoga instructor that helped teach me how to rehab my body in a way that was meaningful and move past some of the pain I was having and lose weight because I could be mobile again and actually use my body. I was able to start liking myself and then start loving myself. And once I liked and then loved myself, it was irrelevant what other people thought. You don't like how I look? Don't care. Why would I care? I'm me and I like how I look.
My friends say that they always come to me to make them laugh. I think, honestly, that's just because I've always had to make myself laugh just to hide all of my pain and not accepting who I was for a very long time. I knew who I was, it was just I didn't have that courage to tell everybody else.
I have been told by a couple different people that
they don't think I have the ability to be sad. And that actually made me sad within that statement, because I was like, I am sad a lot. I'm very self-deprecating. I've put so much on myself, and that's why I try to project that happiness to other people, because I don't want them to feel like me.
I think I celebrate my beauty by letting my feet hit the floor every morning. It's sometimes a heck of a journey from bed to floor, but if I can hit that floor, I got a chance. And I think that's the greatest gift I have right now.
I went on a trip with my friends. We went to London to a show. And this girl next to me, I've never met her, she just looked at me, she said, I just want to let you know you're beautiful. And I've never had that happen to me. And I think about that sometimes. And like little things like that, it really makes a difference, because there are times I don't feel beautiful, but I really, in my own way, I am.
I feel like our bodies, the way I view our bodies and our physical presence are like temples. And I've had to continuously work on worshiping my temple. And that's been work that I've been doing more actively to believe that. So I believe that our temples house our souls, and our souls are inherently beautiful. That how do I also learn to love the temple that houses all that I am? And I believe I'm beautiful. And I'm still working on continuously reminding myself of that.
I am beautiful.
I am worthy.
That has always been the hardest one for so long, is that I am enough.
I am beautiful.
I am enough.
I am beautiful.
I am enough.
I am enough.